Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe,
And I'm Calvin,
and this is We Like That podcast.
because we like that.
How was your week?
Just like every other week. Fine.
Mine was not fine. All right, moving into.
Okay.
Well, we went and caught a basketball game. My first ever Wizards game. They lost naturally. But it was fun. It was fun. The seats were good.
Glad you had a good time.
And then we got to see Big Boy afterwards.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear him, but we got to see him.
So after this game, Friday night, they had a concert. It was supposed to be Shaq as a DJ, just DJing and doing stuff. But March Madness is going on, and that's where Shaq is. He's gonna go where the money is. So which makes sense. So they got Big Boy and Flow Rider to fill in instead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming either Flow Rider got there late or who knows. But Big Boy did his thing and then we left. The end.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed. I'm trying to think if anything else popped off I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember.
Me and somebody was talking about Diddy.
Okay.
And how we think Diddy might
Get off
and stuff. And I was just telling them, I'm like, they might get him for racketeering. But the other stuff. Because the way I know you're supposed to be not guilty, but if they have evidence of you witness tampering, witness intimidation, you trying to get people to hide it, get rid of evidence or hide evidence, there's no way you can be able to go in there confidently and say not guilty with all that against you. So I was saying either he's going to take a plea deal, or he's got information on somebody else that they actually want, and he's going to get less time or probably get off and get time served.
Can you claim not guilty and then take a plea deal?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's just if
How'd that
the
work?
prosecutor wants to take it or not.
Not up to the prosecutor, it's up to the client.
What I'm saying to you is up to the prosecutor whether if your attorney and me talk and you're the person that's on trial. And you go in there, and he goes not guilty for you guys go not guilty. And I go, well, I'm looking at giving you 30. I don't care. We're trying to get 30. Then at that point, you and me negotiate on the terms of the deal. If we're going to give you a plea deal or what. And then you guys, he got to, then Diddy got to agree to it. Then his lawyer, then whatever we'll do, they do. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it could be that. Because to me, there's way too much evidence.
Of what?
I don't know how much evidence they got of this
Prostitution.
But apparently they got enough evidence of everything else.
Okay.
So that's my whole thing. They had to be working out a plea deal.
But he already claimed not guilty. If they are working out a plea deal, he'll have to basically go back on pleading not guilty.
And then they'll go, okay, these are charges you go plead to.
I'm just saying in a court of law, it doesn't look good for you to go not guilty and then go, okay, well, just kidding. I now want to do it. Unless he has something really good to give up.
That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people do that. Some people plead not guilty and then they go in and they like, hey, look, this is what it is. We do this and this and this. You either take it or leave it. And then it's up to your client whether he wants to take it or not. So,
well, he did have a lawyer quit, so I don't know how well he listens to his lawyers.
That too. So that's all I'm saying is from everything I've heard and seen. But then again, I don't know how much of that is true, what I've heard. Because the places I heard it. So, But apparently, he's been doing a lot of stuff inside that's trying to contact people outside.
Oh, no, they caught him doing this stuff on the inside. Yeah, they caught him.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I don't know how you're going to plead not guilty with all that information, with all that evidence.
On technicalities.
Not technicality if you're the one giving it up freely.
But he's not on trial for what he did in prison.
but that's still evidence. If you're one of the witnesses, I call somebody to go take you out and do something to you, that's tampering.
It's tampering.
That's still,
but it's not necessarily proof of guilt necessarily.
It's something. It's enough to get you more time.
And
that's what,
for sure.
Enough. It's enough to do something. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Okay. Well,
he is going to get time served already. So just start there.
I don't know if he's going to get time served.
I didn't mean time served. He's already get the time that he's in now is already going to be count towards whatever time he gets. That's what I mean.
That is time served then. That's what that is.
Yeah, so like he get 15. They're going to count how many days he's been in or how many months or year he's been in already towards the 15 or whatever. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So.
But he hasn't been in that long comparatively to whenever this trial finally begins. It will be very interesting to see what happens during this trial. What witnesses they're going to have come up for that trial.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what goes on. All right. So all of that to say, speaking of people who were on trial, do you want to listen to Usher versus R. Kelly?
Sure. I heard R. Kelly made a song or something, trying to make an album in jail or something.
How you hear that's something you've been promoting for a minute now.
I heard it.
You've been promoting that he should make an album in jail.
I don't know how true that is, but they still be one of the best R&B albums. That's the sad thing.
Interesting.
It's still gonna be one of the best R&B
albums. For somebody who says he's never listened to R. Kelly, now you're very in tune with the fact that he might be making an album in jail, and it's gonna be good. That's very interesting.
But is the bar that high for it? How high is the bar?
You don't listen to modern R&B now.
You don't think if R. Kelly put out an album, nobody's going to buy it?
Let me give you this context and this frame of reference. When they announced they're doing the after concert after the Wizards game, and they showed Flo Rida and Big Boy, we got into it because I told you that Flo Rida was going to be the closer. And you're like, that's not going to happen. Big Boy's the bigger star. I'm like, he's the bigger star to us, not to everyone. Okay. And Big Boy was first.
I still say, I think Big Boy just would get in and get out. But maybe you're right. You probably you could have been right. That's all. You could have been right.
Part of being a big star is relevancy, unfortunately. Now, if he had been there with Andre, it might have been a little bit of a different story. But with just Big Boy, even the people that knew his music were old heads like us. Younger kids aren't really that familiar, but they know Flo Rida.
Okay. I'm not going to argue.
All that being said, let's see here. So, let me get this together. So we can either do Usher versus R. Kelly, or we can finish out Michael Jackson versus Prince. I don't know what else they do for Michael Jackson versus Prince. I feel like we covered a lot of the hits already.
We can either do both. We can do both. We can do one of the Michael Jackson and whatever, and then finish it up with the R. Kelly versus Usher. I'm just going to say now, don't be shocked if R. Kelly wins.
Well, okay, let's start with Usher and R. Kelly.
Don't be shocked.
Usher versus R. Kelly part 1. Let's go.
Oh my God. Oh.
Take you to a place nice and quiet. There ain't no one better.
That might have been a separator right there. Oh my gosh.
This is him?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I can't let the remix. I like the remix even better. Na 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 na. I can't sleep. I can't live. I can't think.
So I do want to say, disclaimer. Even though I do not support the antics of R. Kelly, playing his music actually helps his victims. They also get consideration or compensation for the music that he's released. So all that being said, and the other thing is, I know the words to so many of his songs. So
everybody does. You're not the
it's
only
so
one.
depressing how talented this man is and how evil he was. Anyway, we have Usher, Ludacris, and Little John with Yeah. And that is versus R. Kelly, Ignition. Was it the same year?
Yeah. No, it's not the same year. Ignition. Oh my God. Ah.
So 2004 is Yeah.
Yeah. 2004. Ignition is like 2003.
Do you remember the song that we played is the remix? Do you remember the original Ignition? It's a little slower.
Yeah. But it don't matter. They both were.
That song was so big in the club. It was so big.
Yeah,
it was big, but Ignition.
Rolling, that body got every man and he wishing.
And it was always mixed with that other song. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Girl, you know the girl in the hotel one.
Yeah, you want to come to my hotel.
And I'll give you my room key. It was always mixed with that. Damn it, R. Kelly. Anyway, he's such a big part of the soundtrack to our relationship.
For you, not to me. For you. For you.
Calvin, we did Step in the Name of Love. This song.
Everybody did Step in the Name of Love. Let's act like that.
But what I'm saying is a lot of the biggest hits when we were clubbing together R. Kelly songs.
Because he had another
resurgence. Yeah. Anyhow, back which one? Yeah, versus Ignition. Unfortunately it is Ignition for me. I am loath to say it, but it's true. I would play Ignition more.
This whole thing will be a tie for me. I can't pick. I'm not gonna lie to you because I want to go. Yeah.
Do you think Same Girl's gonna show up in one of these things?
They can't because that's their song
together.
Yeah. I want to say yeah, but Ignition went hard.
It did. It did. It did. Yeah is great.
What you want to rather hear in the club? Yeah.
I would rather hear Ignition in the club. The remix, the groove, the beat to dance to. Yeah, it's fun. But
and like Murder, She Wrote, when I get inside and close. Oh. I'm going to say tie.
Okay, I'm going to say tie. Ignition.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not mad at you. I don't blame you.
Then we've got Confessions Part 2. What was Confessions Part 1? I don't remember.
It's a slower. I don't
remember. I'm going to have to look it up. So Confessions Part 2, that came out in 2004. And that is versus R. Kelly and the Isley Brothers. Down Low, Nobody Has to Know.
Oh, God.
Yikes. Anytime R. Kelly ties up with the Isley Brothers, it's a great time.
Tie.
What's the song he does with Ron Isley?
Contagious.
With Mr. Big? Yes. And all the talking at the beginning.
What you got.
Oh my God.
I put my hand in my head because I'm so confused. And then I turn the TV down.
Is that the one where he's like, girl, where you been? And she's like, with my friend.
No, that's a whole nother one.
That's the one I'm talking about, is that way. Girl, where have you been? I've been with my friend. And he's like, I try to recall you.
Don't you know? That's the one with I think not T-Mer, not that nigga. Oh my God, not Nivea.
Oh, we're about to start some shit.
Oh no, that's Contagious. That's Contagious. But he got another one on his last album too.
Girl, what is going on?
They got like 16, easy 16.
Mm-hmm. So which one for you?
It's
Confessions Part 2, or is it gonna be the song he did with the Isley Brothers? Down Low, Nobody Has to Know.
Confessions because Confessions is
when Confessions came out, it broke the world. The world got broke, okay? Because he was dating Chili at the time, and she was in the original music video before they switched it out. So when it happened and all this came out, it was also around the same time that it was announced that he was now dating his hairstylist, Tamika, and she was pregnant. It broke the world. It broke the world. And then the song came out, and he got a Chili lookalike to be in the video. And it's him crying about how he cheated on her, but he still loves her. And she's like, I can't be with you. It was huge. It was happening in real time. It was happening in a music video. It broke the world.
Confessions is on a rotation in my Spotify. That Isley Brothers and R. Kelly's not.
Right.
So that's the only reason Confessions is going to win.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, because right now my heart is like a tie.
I'm
This
just,
whole
I'm
thing
just
is
saying,
actually a
in
tie.
terms of like pop culture impact, Confessions was huge compared to Down Low.
Which one you picking, Jamal?
I'm choosing Confessions.
Okay.
It broke the world.
Okay.
Anywho, Usher's Nice and Slow, 1998.
I don't really like.
Was that off his debut album? No. Yes? No.
Yeah, no, that's not his debut album.
Usher, the self-titled album, is his debut album.
No, Usher had a song before that when he was like 12 or 13.
But he wasn't going by Usher at that time.
Well, he's going by Usher Raymond.
He was going by JR because he's a junior.
Whatever.
How do I know that and you don't know that? They're trying to make him like a little singer, like a little Michael Jackson type singer type thing at the time. And then he took a long break and then he came back as just Usher.
Whatever. Not his first album.
Anywho, that versus Bump and Grind, which came out in 94. The fact that this song holds up and it came out back in 1994. Outraged. Anyway,
Bump
which
and
one?
Grind. Bump and Grind.
I like Nice and Slow.
Okay. Good for you.
I like it more than Bump and Grind.
Okay.
It's a little more romantic.
Sure.
You said sure. All right. Then we have another song, hopefully one day. This music video. Okay.
Wanna?
Yep. You Make Me Wanna, 1997. Off of the debut album, Usher. Oh,
Sure.
it went away. Hilariousness. I'm having technical difficulties over here. Everything flipped away. It closed out. It went away. Okay, here we go. Usher, You Make Me Wanna, 1997, where he did the full dance with the chairs. There was multiples of him. Versus R. Kelly, Your Body's Calling. It's gonna be Usher. It's gonna be the other one. Usher. USHERRAYMOND.
Tie.
You Make Me Wanna.
Tie.
Calvin.
Tie for me. I don't really like neither of those songs that much.
And then you got Usher, You Got It Bad, 2001. Chili's in this music video. Versus R. Kelly, I Can't Sleep Baby.
R. Kelly.
I Can't Sleep Baby.
And if it was a remix, I wouldn't even have to question that.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was him. Doing it. So for me, unfortunately, it's overwhelmingly R. Kelly.
Without you in my life, I don't want to go on, babe.
I think for you, it's R. Kelly by like one. There was one song you gave to him.
This is my song, baby.
I think we should do part 2.
I can't do nothing if I...
Oh, it let me pause it.
Lonely, baby. And I can't
We got Usher versus R. Kelly part 2. Let's go.
Not around.
Excuse me, do you have a minute?
I want to ride it. My sound. This automatically gonna lose. I don't care what he plays after this. Well, this song's gonna win. It don't matter what he plays after this. No.
Oh, that might be my first tie. Okay. Let's see here. Alrighty. So, how are your feelings after listening to that?
Fine.
You said fine. Okay, Usher.
I have no problem.
You Remind Me, which came out in 2001, which again, most trifling song ever. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, miss. Let me tell you about this girl that I no longer want to be with, but you remind me of her so much. Do you have a minute?
She could have kept walking.
As a matter of fact, I don't care if you have a minute. I'm going to tell you this anyway.
She could have walked in. She could have got going to get mall security. She could have done a lot of
Mall
things.
security. That's versus R. Kelly. You Remind Me of Something.
You remind me. You remind me.
Usher, right?
No. R. Kelly. You remind me of a Jeep.
Or You Remind Me of Something is what it's called.
Okay.
I don't remember You Remind Me of Something.
Yeah, something about this love has got me going crazy.
I'm gonna have to go with Usher for myself because I don't know this other one.
Okay.
All right. Then we have Usher, Can You Handle It, 2004, which was also on the Confessions soundtrack, versus R. Kelly, Feeling on Your Booty.
Feeling on Your Booty. It's not even
Feeling
close.
on Your Booty.
It's not even close.
It is. He did the whole boo-hoo-tee part of it. All right. Usher, You Don't Have to Call, 2002.
You Don't Have to Call.
In his full Michael Jackson phase. Versus R. Kelly, Jay-Z, Boo, and Gotti, Fiesta.
You Don't Have to Call.
Yeah, I agree. So far it's all Usher for me so far, and then no, I gave the booty song to R. Kelly, and for you it's mostly R. Kelly right now.
Yes.
Okay. Usher, Burn, 2004, versus R. Kelly, If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time. Burn. Okay. All right, and then we've got Usher and Young Jeezy, Love in This Club, 2008. And that is versus R. Kelly, Step in the Name of Love, 2003.
Tie. I just go tie.
Step in the Name of Love has such a huge impact on my life. I had Bell's palsy. The song came out. I was like, this is some bullshit. But then the song came out and I was like, okay, this is not too bad. This isn't too bad. And then somebody came back home from deployment. After telling me that he did not want to see my face again, found me in the club.
Oh my God. Who was that jerk?
You.
Who was that asshole?
You were that jerk.
I swear to God, I smack him in the face. I smite him with the back of my hand if I can find that guy.
Shout out to Doherty. If Doherty wasn't like, hey, Calvin wants to talk to you again, we probably wouldn't be back together.
First of all, wasn't he the one that told you that?
Yeah. He was the one that told you that. Are you saying Doherty's a liar? First of all, if by some magical reason Doherty is listening to this, you are not a liar. And I appreciated the heads up. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sure. It's back to R. Kelly and Usher, please. Because I'm not going to even.
That last one is a tie for me. It is a tie for me. I love Step in the Name of Love.
Yeah, tie. I said tie. I am leaning more to Love in This Club, though. But tie.
Love in This Club is fun. I like it better than Yeah. But you can't really dance to it in a club.
I'm not dancing.
But you step in the Name of Love.
Step in the Name of Love. Don't let me to be.
He gives you instructions, side to side, front and back.
Step in the Name of Love. Don't allow me to be a pervert. Let's start there. Love in the Club allowed me to be a pervert because I can sit there and just feel on some nice brown booty.
You don't make any sense.
Ooh,
if Outkast had a versus, who would they be against?
I don't know.
Would it be UGK?
That'd be a good matchup. There'd be a lot of ties for me.
Okay. All right, that's the last one. All right. Anything you want to do? Another one? You want to move on to the next thing?
It's up to you, or we can move on.
Let's move on.
Okay.
90
Moving
Day.
on to 90-Day Last Resort.
90-Day Last Resort. I don't know why they are stringing us along, but they are. They're just really like, hey, couples. So are you still coupling? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, okay. And that was pretty much 90-Day Last Resort.
Let's start with Jasmine and Gino.
Oh, they agreed to do an open marriage. Gino, and it seems like Gino does not want to touch Jasmine, but he also doesn't want to be by himself. So he's like, yeah, rather than me really sit with myself and understand why I don't want to be intimate with Jasmine, I'm just gonna say yes, and she can have sex with a stranger. Rob, meanwhile, is losing his shit. Rob cannot believe that Gina's gonna go along with this, and he is painting Jasmine to be like this hussy manipulator who's going to just throw it in Gino's face that she's sleeping with every man that she can, which is not what's happening.
So the sex therapist brings up that y'all guys need to set rules and terms. So they meet the sex therapist and pretty much set out a guidelines of what.
It's very rough guidelines.
It's like
very
a
rough
draft of guidelines that they may.
And it's mostly led by Jasmine. It's Jasmine saying like maybe a couple days a week, maybe for a certain time frame, just sex. The minute, I become emotionally attached, we have to end it. It's mostly Jasmine saying all that. Gino does bring up like if there's an emotional attachment, he doesn't want it to continue. But everybody is flabbergasted that Gino's like, yeah, this is an alternative that we can do. And then later, when we watched In Between the Sheets, which is like the after show, he talks about how like this is a yes for now, basically. in his mind, if he gives Jasmine this win right now, then, and then their relationship gets better somehow in his mind, they can then wean away from her wanting to be in an open relationship and close it back up again. And it's like, what? So, and now we know that Jasmine is pregnant. So how well did this work? And is he okay? Are they still in an open relationship and she's pregnant with another man's baby? Like, how's this working? Anywho.
So the sex therapist, like Javon was saying, when Rob threw his little hissy fit about Jasmine and Gino's
Temper tantrum.
relationship, the sex therapist points out she don't understand why Rob is in such a hissy fit.
No, she understands. And she gives the reasons why she understands.
What was the reasons?
Basically, she's saying when you're dealing with somebody who's normally in like a monogamous relationship or seeks monogamous relationships, but they practice infidelity themselves, they got into cheating, they are almost upset that there are a subset of people who can be in a committed relationship and have an open status in that relationship where they can have the freedom to experience other people while being in the relationship. Because as a cheater in a monogamous relationship, all that is supposed to be bad. All of that is supposed to be bad. And they can't, for the life of them, understand how two people can come to an agreement to both do that and not consider it cheating. Thus the triggering. That's how triggered Rob is when Jasmine's talking about it. But also, I firmly believe that Rob hates women. I firmly believe that. He doesn't hold a lot of respect for women at all. He's quick to dog them immediately. So I think there's probably some mommy issues there as well. But that's me. The sex therapist isn't saying any of this, but yeah.
No, I think a lot of guys thinks that's the bet. If you want to date a pretty girl, you gotta knock her down a peg.
That's bullshit.
It's some like reverse psychology thing.
Not really. It's misogyny.
Whatever you want to call it. Sure. Stacy and Florian.
It's also not working for Rob, so I don't know why people think this is a thing.
Sure, it's not. Stacy and Florian.
Florian cracks me up. Florian is giving me life. Stacy continues to go on and on about how Florian needs to work better at being there for her. This is news to everyone because they've been fine this entire time, but for whatever reason, she's like, yeah, communication is terrible between me and Florian.
Also trust issues as well.
Which again, what? So anyway, she has this moment with the group therapy where she faces Florian and is like, I need you to listen to me. I need you not to say shut up or be dismissive and treat me like the queen that I am. Got it, Florian? And Florian goes, sure. She goes, amen. And he goes, amen, hallelujah, Jesus Christ. It was hilarious.
Because in his mind, he still doesn't know why he's there at all. And honestly, I don't blame him. I don't even know why he's there.
No one knows. She didn't start having problems until Darcy showed up for some reason. So who knows? Anyway, but that's where that left it. And then knock out Josh and Natalie. They decided to break up. Or I should say, Josh decided to finally cut the cord and break up with Natalie. They were like, do you guys want to do the commitment ceremony? Josh hates commitment. He's like, I can't do it. She's unpredictable. And even though I've tried to help her so much, she's still unpredictable. I just don't think I can be the person that she wants me to be. And it's like, yeah, all that is accurate, Josh, because you suck. Anyway, he decides to break things off with Natalie. And when she doesn't react the way that he thinks that she should be reacting, which is like full tears, screaming at the heavens, and she's just like, okay, he goes on the offensive and is just like, I know you're hurting right now and you don't want to show it, and yada yada this and yada yada that, and I'm gonna give you a moment. And it's like, Josh, please stop for the love of man. And they decide to break up. They decide to go their separate ways.
My whole thing is the reason she didn't react, because I think that's the first time he was actually vulnerable and honest with her. So she was like, you know what, I respect the fact that you actually, because she even said, I didn't respect you because I didn't know where I stood.
She said that, but she still dated this man for 3 years.
You can say one thing and still do something stupid.
There's a part in there in between the sheets where some of the cast members were surprised that Natalie did not react the way they thought she was going to. And Calvin was like, I don't know why they think this. And it was like, if you have been watching the whole show, Natalie would have these blowout reactions for smaller things.
Yeah, but the reason is because
Now, I'm not talking just around Josh. Like with the other cast members, when they were being honest with her about Josh's intentions for stuff, she would blow up. And then you finally have Josh being like, we need to end it. And she's like, okay. Now, I do agree with you. I think this was the first moment where she realized he was actually being honest with her. They were having an actual moment. And I think that is true. But Natalie also is weird. She's weird like that. Like when it comes to little things, she can flip out at the drop of a hat. But then when it's super serious, she's going to give you some kind of allegory. Like how like her and Josh weren't going to work because it'd be like walking around LA with a map of New York. You're just never going to get to your destination. And it was like, okay, interesting.
I like how you make fun of her haikus, but that was deep.
That's not a haiku. That's an allegory.
That's deep. It's haiku.
That's a haiku is a poem.
That was a poem in her head.
Okay, Calvin.
But her allegory was correct though.
It is correct.
So I just think for the first time she looked at him and she's like, holy crap, he's actually being honest and vulnerable with me.
I don't think it was a holy crap. I think she knew it was coming and he just finally said it. And she was like, okay.
I think he's been bull skating her the whole time.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know why you crazy. Because you're making me crazy.
Yeah. Sure.
It's not me. You're just crazy. Sure. Okay, it's me.
But people are worried that even with all this being said, Natalie's still going to go back to Josh.
Well, then that I didn't say she was right. I just said I understand why she reacted the way she did.
Yeah, okay.
Do I think she'll go back? It depends on if he initiates it, then all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not of her own accord. Hopefully.
We also had Brandon and Julia. He became sex man. Yeah. And he was whipping the hell out of Julia. So.
But he's just happy that she wants to go get a second opinion about being able to have kids. Sophie and Rob.
Not much. Sophie says she's still confused. She still is not sure where her and Rob stand. Rob's like, I don't know why she's still confused. It's not, sounding good, but she's still confused. And at the same time, I'm like, Rob, have you met you? Like, you haven't done anything to make her feel better about being in this relationship. Granted, she's also been throwing you curve balls, but you also could have been like, this needs to end. We need to stop. Like, we're not going to go anywhere. Anywho, I just don't like Rob. So there's that.
And that's all the couples, right?
Brandon.
We talked about Brandon, Julia.
Yeah, because I think everybody else left.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
So next week is the commitment ceremony, right? Finally.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens at that. Some of the previews look kind of crazy because it seems like Gino and Florian get into a fight or something, which is hilarious. But that's pretty much 90-day fiance last resort.
Yeah.
Moving into 90-day before the 90 days.
Okay.
Stevie.
It's not before the 90 days.
Yeah.
It's just 90-day fiance.
90-day fiance.
It's not before the 90 days.
Okay. 90-day fiance. Stevie and Maddie. Stevie finally takes Maddie to meet her parents. Or her father, I guess. Was that her mom or was her stepmom?
Stepmom.
Okay, her dad. And her weird brother.
It's Deliverance. She's like, yeah, by the way, Maddie, I told my dad about you tonight. My family just found out about you tonight. So, you ready? And he goes, what?
He goes, why did you just tell him about me tonight? He's actually crying. He's like, so now I'm standing behind the 8 ball as if I didn't want them to know about me.
Right.
So now I'm looking bad. So.
And she's like, it's not that serious. It's like, okay.
They pull up.
To his credit, he does good.
They pull up to a bonfire. Well, he had no choice to be.
At least he said what we were all thinking. He's like, I'm in the middle of nowhere at night, and I'm meeting a bunch of white people around a bonfire. This looks like a horror film. And horror films usually don't do too well for people who are not white. So I'm scared.
So he pulls up. He gets out. They go around the fire, they talk, and pretty much kind of get to know each other. He asks, the dad asks him some questions about how do you guys treat women, because I know you guys are women is supposed to follow you and listen to you 100%, and you're supposed to like dominate or whatever.
Which is crazy because they're in Trump country where they just got rid of women's right to their own bodies. That was the craziest sentence I heard. The craziest sentence.
So Maddie goes like, I'm not that religious like that. I don't believe in women being like a slave or a servant to you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, that's good to know. And then they go in to eat, and they have like turkey, macaroni, and cheese, and he goes like, pork. He's like, yeah, I can't do that. He's like, understandable. Dad pretty much, he was like, okay, cool. They eat, they talk some more, and pretty much I think Maddie did really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the brother giving incest, incest vibes and stuff.
It looked like Get Out, but the Arabian version.
Other than that,
and then, but you also have Stevie later complaining to her stepmom that Maddie has the audacity to miss his family back home. The first thing he said to me was that he really misses his parents and he might want to go back, which could mean that he could never come back to the States. Who says that when they first get here? People who miss their family.
A guy who has freedoms,
literally giving up everything. What?
A guy who has new freedoms that none of his family would ever probably get to see or have. And the guilt from that.
And he can't even communicate with them.
Exactly. And that's the guilt. It's guilt. I don't understand why she don't understand his guilt.
Because she's never been in that position.
I made it out. And I can't call back to see if my family is doing well.
Right.
Or how they're getting along there.
Right.
All I can do is possibly try to get them out.
Right.
If that. And we know that's not happening right now.
Right.
With everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I understand. Mark and Mina.
Not Manny. Unlike last week. I feel bad for Mina and Jordan. Mark sucks. Mark's the worst.
So they are heading to North Carolina to go to the beach to meet his family. This Nimrod idiot decides to tell his daughter about the conversation they had
in the jacuzzi. Him and Mina had it in the jacuzzi.
So Mina's like, why'd you tell her? So now I'm even more behind 8 Ball. We even got more issues.
But that's on top of him running his mouth about his conversation with Jordan to her. And Jordan being like, why would you tell her that? Why would you tell her that as well? He's like, yeah, I kind of got myself in hot water with both of them. Yeah. Yes, you did. You suck. And you're not validating anybody's feelings at all. Your attempt to be nice to everyone is isolating everyone.
That's his validating people's feelings.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Because you've got Mina who, for all intents and purposes, is in love with this man and wants to have children with him. And when he's with her, he's like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. But when he's not with her and he's talking to his daughter, and his daughter's like, no, I have concerns about you, having all these young kids. He's like, you're right.
My God.
I also don't want to have young kids. So it's like, sir, what? What?
He's using his daughter to try to get that thought out of Mina's head.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst.
And he's thinking if Mina talks to, Jordan talks to Mina, that maybe Mina be like, you know what? Yeah, he's old. He maybe not want to have no more kids.
It's too late. First of all, he already has a daughter with her. They're trying to get her son. He's also young. It's too late.
So.
But we also find out that Jordan does feel like her dad is trying to basically replace or do a start over with a new family. Like she feels a way about that. But rather than direct that conversation to her dad, she directs it to Mina.
Because I think she blames Mina for the family breaking up.
Oh, it's not a think, it's an absolute. But no, she doesn't blame her for the breakup because
I think she does.
I don't think so because he dated another girl, remember? Before Mina. She's not the first person he got with after the divorce.
But the other girl came in and got the hell on.
No, she lasted a year.
But she didn't start a family.
That's true. She did not.
So I think in her mind, there still was hope. This girl comes along and starts a family.
I don't think that there was hope. We're not hearing the wife's side, his ex-wife. We're not hearing her side about everything that was going on. But I feel like his daughter was at peace with her family breaking up, but wasn't at peace with him starting over the way that he's starting over. And also, she's the most vocal one. I don't know if that's because she was the only one comfortable doing this in front of the cameras, or if this is a shared sentiment with her siblings, because there's three of them. Is this just her feeling this way? Is it all of them feeling it this way? It's very interesting. But also, I got to remember, this is a heavily edited reality show. So how much of this fight is real?
Long story short, they get into it, and pretty much they have a conversation like Javon is just saying to each other.
They meaning Jordan and Mina.
And Mina goes, well, you're not welcome to my wedding.
No, she didn't say not welcome. She said you're not coming. that's what she
welcome
said.
Coming, same thing to me.
You're not coming to this wedding.
Jordan goes, fine.
Yeah.
But we all know she's going to run and tell her dad.
Oh, of course. But what's he going to do? Nothing. So it doesn't matter.
So at the end of the day, and Jordan showed up with her boyfriend. Where's the rest of the family? I thought the whole family was supposed to be on this beach.
That's what I thought too. So that makes me wonder, like, are they weren't comfortable being on camera, maybe?
So that's Mark and Mina in a nutshell.
Yep.
For this episode. It was just her and Jordan getting into it and trying to hash out their feelings, or
I'd argue that they fleshed out what the issue is between Jordan and Mina, and it's Mark. Mark is the issue between them.
Mark is the issue because he doesn't want to take a side. Well, not even take a side.
He won't put his foot down on like
anything.
make a decision. He won't make a decision on anything.
Shekinah and Sarper, Shekinah, whatever.
Sarper's in the U.S. Sarper is starting to get homesick. He misses his family. Also, he's realizing, what did I get myself into? Because when they finally make it back to Shekinah's place, not only is it super tiny, he's not allowed to be in there. So
she runs her business out of her home.
She's an esthetician. So as soon as he gets in there, it's just clinical stuff, wall to wall.
So it seems to me she didn't tell him that she's working out of her home, or how much that entails.
I think it's that part. I don't think I don't think she explained how it's taken over her home. Like, she doesn't even cook in her home because she wants to make sure it's good for clients. What?
And he's like, I can't cook eggs, breakfast.
She was like, no, it's gonna smell weird.
And he's like,
and then she was like, if I have a client, you can't be there. And he was like, what?
Why am I here then?
Where am I gonna go? I know you. Where am I gonna go?
So hopefully he goes, I'm going back to Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Because and he should say the reason I'm going back to Turkey is because you held out a lot of important details and information to me to get me here. Now you gotta tell me I can't be in the house when you're working. I gotta figure it out.
I mean, that's an important detail. I feel like he should say I'm going back to Turkey because you're clearly not ready for me to be in your life. You're clearly not ready for me to like really be with you.
Oh, by the way, you can't eat here at all,
and you can't be here. So he's just looking like, what? But the preview for next week is him living his Baywatch fantasy because he grew up watching the show in Turkey, and he just thought it was like the epitome of like being in America and being beautiful, which in the early 90s, that's what it was trying to be. It's just very misogynistic. So, but whatever.
Sean and Aaliyah gets her
visa to come over.
She's happy
to the States.
Was that conversation? That's for next week.
It was bittersweet. It was a bittersweet conversation. She's excited. Sean's like, great, but he has a lot of qualms about her coming over because he hasn't told his children, A, that he's even dating Aaliyah, B, that Aaliyah went through a transition, C, that they're about to get married. Like, they don't know anything.
And apparently his kids are very vocal. Very vocal.
It makes me wonder that with his kids being vocal, like what he's put them through. You know what I mean? It's giving like he's doing it again type of energy. Aaliyah also has qualms about going to the States because she will not know anybody over there. She will be by herself going out that way. The preview for next week is her sitting Sean down and being like, if me coming over to the States didn't require us to get married for me to stay out here, would you even marry me? And he basically goes, no, I'm done with marriage. Why would we get married?
We will see how that goes.
It's gonna be well. We already saw randomly the way they edited this. We see that she does not marry him. So okay, show.
Moving along to Gregory and Joan.
Yeah, Greg. Greg is a big kid. He refuses to grow up. Joan is slowly but surely realizing this and is like, oh, I had to figure out how to go back home.
So I guess
how do I go back home?
They meet his friends.
They meet his friends, and his friends are like, so what's the plan? Are you going to get a job? And are you going to move out? And he's like, no.
I wonder, are these friends told to do something, ask questions for
story?
Probably. Or are they
genuinely asking
these questions?
It might be both. It could be for a story and them genuinely asking, like, you brought her over here, so what's your plan? So
he has no plan.
He doesn't.
Just like I said, she need to get her ass back to Uganda. But
I've been told
like she should wait a little bit longer to be disappointed some more before she leaves.
Your whole thing was that she knew all of this was happening. And what they clarified in this episode was that she didn't. He was telling her one thing, and now it's something else.
Now, it's okay. She doesn't know anything. What should she do?
She agreed with you. She said, if I had known this stuff, I would have gone home.
Now you know. Go home.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know.
Mm-hmm.
Go home.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to change.
I wonder how much of that is story, though.
The conversation he's having.
How much of him saying I'm not leaving is story? How much is that?
At some point, damn story. You're not trying to lose the person you want to be with.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you guys got a 100% understanding, this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, none of this.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's going to be hard to make it look real on camera.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Everybody ain't good actors.
I don't know what you're saying. What?
Let's just say this is all story.
Okay.
Their whole thing is all story.
Okay.
You still have to be able to make it look believable.
Uh-huh. I don't know if you've noticed, they don't have a lot of screen time. They don't have a lot of screen time.
Which leads me to believe that.
Here's my theory. A lot of this is story. Because I feel like Joan does not suffer fools. I feel like she would be like, you want to live with your mother for 1 to 2 more years and you don't want to work? I'm gone. I'm leaving. I'm out. I gotta go. She was a director of her last organization. I find it very hard to believe that she would get here to the States with this guy who's like, I'm not working and I'm just going to live with my mom. And she would be like, cool, I'll wait it out. I find that very hard to believe. I think there's a reason they don't get a lot of screen time. I think there's a reason their story got introduced. What was it, like the 5th episode in? Because I don't think it's a long story.
Yeah, I don't think it's long. I think she probably left.
Either she left or he magically becomes the baker. Because that's the other thing that he was working towards, was getting a, what's it called? When it's not a union, but like, not an internship. You know what I'm talking about? A fellowship. If he got his fellowship to be a baker and like train under somebody.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Basically, you get paid to train. And usually it's with like a known name. Like it comes with like its own, not infamy, but prestige.
Okay. Jessica and Juan.
A mess.
Apparently.
Jessica, Juan, and Megan.
Megan wants Jessica.
Megan is fully white girl tears, crying.
Like sobbing. Like her world is ending or breaking down.
And it's not because Juan said something to her. It's because in her head, she's built up that Juan is like this massive cheater to her friend. Her friend, by the way, who is not reacting. like Megan has all these questions about Juan cheating. And Juan's like, yeah, it was a year ago. I did cheat.
So
we
she-
both know it.
so
And yeah.
She goes, did you cheat? Did you? And he
She's like,
goes-
last time I talked to you about this one, you wouldn't tell me. I was like,
And
I
he
don't have to
goes-
tell you. I'm not dating you.
And he goes, yeah.
This is so cr- and she does have another friend who's also trying to like get in there and be like, well, cheating is not cool one. And he's like, I know. It's not. But then Megan drops a bomb when they're talking about like what the bad year that him and Jessica were in.
Because Jessica was like, well, we knew about it and we were distant.
Right. It was rough for both of us. She's like, I started talking to somebody myself. And Megan goes, well, that was your ex-boyfriend.
Well, that's your ex-person. That doesn't count. Okay.
And Juan goes, what? And Jessica goes, what?
Uh-huh.
And Megan smiles. So it gets it's weird. It's just all weird.
Sounds like to me, Megan was getting back at both of them at that time. She's mad at Jessica for not having the same emotional.
She's the Amani of their relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
The emotional further that she had.
Fur. Not
With-
further.
Fur.
Yeah. Like a fever. Fur. Yeah.
Anywho, Dini.
She just has it in for Juan. I don't know what Juan did to this girl. I don't know if she thought Juan was cute and he chose Jessica and now she's like, how dare you?
I think she wanted
making your
Jessica.
life hell.
I think she wanted Jessica to have the same
Loneliness that she got? I don't know. I got questions.
have the same kind of
Intensity?
intensity she had, and Jessica was like, "No."
Well, Jessica also fucked up, so that's also why Jessica was
And
like,
Megan was
it's
like, "Oh, yeah?
fine.
Oh yeah. Well, you was talking to your ex. It was just your ex.
Juan's like, this is the first I'm hearing of this, and Jessica's like, I told you about this. He's like, no, you did not. You did
Megan-
not tell us
And then
about
Megan
this.
goes chitty chitty bang bang niggas and walked off.
Basically, drops the mic. But then Juan's like, you're letting your friends like dehumanize me regularly about something I did a year ago that you already forgave me for, and you were doing your own stuff. Like, wait, what? And she's like, it's not the same, okay? We never crossed that line. Sure, we talked a lot. Sure, he came over when the kids weren't here and he was at the house and maybe we held each other, but we never had sex. And that's the point, Juan. And he's like, what?
Have for what?
Okay.
Have for what? So then they show them leaving the sundown bar town,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it looked like it was a desolate town. that
Sundown town. Was it Sundown town?
had one building that was operational,
They left their ghost town and went back to their house.
and that's where we
The house where they have no privacy at. Like, this is
Exactly.
not a win
that's
at
pretty
all.
and that's where we left them at, pretty much getting into it, trying to figure out
Who's to blame for
Yeah.
whatever?
whatever they were going through. And now the throuple that is
That's all the couples?
Matt, Amani, and
Ani.
Ani.
You know they're spelling her name wrong? It's supposed to be Hany, but the show shows that it's Any.
Annie.
Ani.
Annie.
Because the H is silent. It's Mexican.
Honey.
They don't say the ha sound.
Honey.
So it's honey.
Honey.
Anywho. And also I have some tea about Matt. I'll share that after we discuss their scenes.
Okay, whatever. They are now in Mexico.
They've
shacking it up.
been in Tijuana. They had their night. They spent their night together. The three of them. Amani wakes up in the middle in bliss. She's like, "This is so good. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick." They're like, "Okay." As soon as she's gone, Matt is all over Ani, all over her, making out, kissing. He does give a shout out to Amani. Hey, girl, where's my honey? I miss her. And when she gets back, she's like, "Oh, damn it, I'm not in the middle anymore." But they talk about how they're excited for their day. Meanwhile, we get a little bit of a confession from Ani, who's like, yeah, last night, after we had our little first bout, I was hoping to like do a second bout with just, Amani, but she wasn't feeling well. She was sick. So me and Matt had sex. And she tells us to the camera. And she's like, and then I slept well. I slept really well. I was like, okay. They get ready. They start taking their trip. They're going to Ensenada to meet to meet Ani's family. They start driving. On the drive, Amani's like excited because for Amani, she's like, we're meeting the family. This is becoming realer. We're going to pop the question to Ani on this trip. And we're going to try to merge all our families and be a married throuple. So she's like, is your family excited to meet us? And Ani's like, well, kind of. Yeah, they're kind of. They don't really know about us. And Amani's like, what do you mean? What do you mean they don't know about us? And she explains that to her family, she is dating Matt. Matt is her boyfriend. And Amani is her friend who's coming out to also meet them. And Amani is triggered. She's triggered. She's flipping out. She's like, I have had to be a secret in my culture forever. I finally found freedom in being myself. I'm not trying to be anybody else's secret. How dare she? What is she doing? Matt, meanwhile, up front is just like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. Oh my God.
Sounds to me like she should understand then the culture thing.
For whatever reason, she is unaware that Ani's family is heavily Catholic. Mexico has a big Catholic population in terms of their religion.
That's why you see all these Santa Marias around.
Okay, racist. And then
how's that? What?
Santa Maria's, Calvin?
Santa Maria?
What's Santa Maria mean?
Adios míos. I don't know.
It's Saint Maria.
Santa
Saint
Marias.
Mary.
Santa Marias.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, the point is conservative.
Adios míos.
Super, super conservative. But Amani feels like Ani is purposefully keeping her a secret and just trying to move forward with Matt because that's the one that's going to be acceptable. They stop over at a very cute little, like, what is it, like a villa or something?
Yeah.
Where that's got its own little jacuzzi. They go and get their room. The guy is showing them all the amenities. And he goes, I see that there's 3 of you. Are all 3 of you staying tonight? And they're like, yep, all 3 are staying tonight. He's like, you want extra towels, an extra bed? Matt goes, extra towels. Amani goes, we're a throuple. And the guy goes, okay.
Take that.
Have fun.
You don't have to tell me about your little ditty parties y'all be having. I don't care.
I didn't need you to shout that in my face. So
exactly.
Ani quickly changes and is like, I'm going to get in this hot tub. She gets in the hot tub. And then Amani and Matt leave. Matt teleports back, ready to go in this hot tub. Teleports, gets in the hot tub.
Like I've been saying.
And he's holding Ani. Amani comes over. She sits on the opposite side. And Ani drops that her and Matt had sex when Amani was asleep or wasn't feeling well or whatever. And Amani's like, she gives a face. And she's like, really? Well, thank you for telling me, Ani. I thought of all people, Matt would have told me, but he didn't. But you did. And Matt goes, what is the problem? We get the confessional from Matt where he's like, I thought if all 3 of us were there, it was good to go. Like it wasn't an issue. But now it seems like it's an issue. Amani is gearing up to just give it to Matt about how he needs to be more considerate of her and more transparent. And Ani reaches over to Amani and is like, I get it, girl. I'm a lady as well. And she's like, she gets it. And Matt is looking between the 2 of them like, what is happening right now? He's like, sure, it's all my fault, I guess. I guess it's all my fault. And Amani goes, you just don't get it. And that's where we leave them.
I understand why she went at Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, you should know better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what her thing was. Matt, you should know better.
Okay.
I don't know how you don't see her trying to take you from me.
I don't think it's that.
But Matt,
Calvin and I agree to disagree on what Amani's actual prioritization is.
Matt, you should know better.
I think Matt was easiest one to pick a fight with. She's hesitant to pick a fight with Ani because she doesn't want to scare Ani off. She says she has a strong personality. I think she just has like rage issues. But we see confessional after confessional of Amani talking about how Ani saying that she's not claiming her is really shaking her. So I think it's more convenient to go after Matt. I think it's more convenient to also get mad about them having the sex. In the preview for next week, we see Matt and Amani and Ani fighting about something again. And it's Matt saying, we didn't have any rules for this, which is confusing. But the other thing is, apparently, they've really only spent like weekends and like 3-day holidays down that way. So all they've really been doing is meeting up, making out, having sex, maybe get a meal here or there, and that's it. They go back. They go back to San Diego, and she's back to her regular life in Mexico. Did you know Ani's working in a brothel? It's a club, but it's a brothel.
Yeah. That's people go out to get their rocks off.
Rocks out. Anyway. So yeah, I think the point that me and Calvin agree on is that Amani is mad that she's not the focal point of their throuple. She feels like it's moving to Matt. But I don't think she's concerned that Ani is stealing Matt from her. I think she's concerned that Matt is stealing Ani from her.
I concur.
Oh.
That makes... Listening and thinking about what you said, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, she might be tired of men, and she might want to do the lady thing for now.
Mm-hmm.
As like a change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to do that would be to both of you agree on a female to test the water to see if that's where you want to be at right now. And if it is, you can just push Matt to the side because evidently Matt
is a pushover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Ani can take his place.
Yeah.
But to see that, I think Ani is more into guys than women.
I agree with you. I concur. I agree.
I think that was the drawback.
Yeah.
She didn't see that coming.
Yeah. I agree.
We'll see what happens.
So apparently, Matt and Amani are on a Netflix show on how to be a billionaire.
How to be a what?
Billionaire. Which is it's a reality series taking like everyday people who basically turn their businesses into like multi-million type businesses, like making a lot of money.
I knew they looked familiar.
Matt was the house husband. Amani was the money maker. And their storyline for that show was that Matt felt dehumanized and emasculated because Amani didn't see what he was doing with the kids as like also important.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah. That's not shocking.
She just looks completely different. She doesn't look like herself in 90 Day Fiance at all. She looks completely different. The other fun thing that I've learned through Reddit is that Matt is fully engaging with people through his socials. Like he's DMing them and like hinting / half joking about what he has to do and how talented he is in the bedroom because he has to take care of 2 ladies. It's gross. It's gross. And yeah, that's them.
That doesn't take talent. It really doesn't.
I think it does. 2 women? Yeah. Happy? Yeah. Takes talent.
Because the women are probably making out with each other a lot of times.
Uh-huh. But he's perpetuating that he's the one making them happy.
Well, everyone's making each other happy.
If it's even happening. Are they even still a throuple? Who knows?
Yeah, and yeah. It's not. You have a lot of help.
I don't know. The way this is going, it might really just be... I don't know how often he's actually touching Amani. Anyway.
Yeah, but you have help. The person that's not... Everyone's doing something. Feel like that.
From what I've heard of threesomes with other people's, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it's just 2 people.
And I guarantee a lot of times he's just standing there touching himself while they go at it.
I don't know. Because like you said, I feel like Ani is into him. I don't know.
But what I'm saying to you is everybody's doing something. So Ani could be doing something else while Matt's doing her. We don't have to describe this for the people to listen.
I did and you did.
Anywho. And that's 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
Love After Lockup. New episode, new season.
Yes.
Has started.
New couples.
They are trying to bring that old thing back.
They said, remember Michael and Sarah? Let's do it again.
Apparently,
we got it with Hunter, but let's do it with several couples. You ready?
Apparently, Michael and Sarah was the best season they had. Seems like.
Well, they also had fun with Hunter and what's her face and the other girl
because they've been trying to get that back, and I think they did it this time.
Several times.
Because
goddamn.
Yeah. Savannah Bradley.
They are from our Love During Lockup season. Bradley is the weed pusher who actually got arrested for carrying a gun when he wasn't supposed to be.
He's been in for 2 years and then he's finally getting out.
He gave a strange confessional about how, like, as a kid he racked up all these things as a juvenile. And his juvenile record, he said, looks crazy. But his adult record only has the gun charge. But I'm like, you got 2 years for the gun charge. Clearly, some of your juvenile stuff placated into that.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
Savannah's a lot.
So yes. Savannah's on her way to pick up Bradley.
Yeah.
She gets to the spot, gets out. She's been talking nonstop.
She picks up a baby mouse.
But then again, she's the only person.
She picks up a baby mouse.
So then she starts to pick up animals on the side of the road. And I guess she was yelling at a cow for some reason. She picks up a mouse, like Javon said, and
the baby mouse was cute. I don't know that I would have touched her with my bare hands, but she is Virginia white girl.
So at no point did she wash her hands or.
No, she did a nice little. That was it.
One for the father, one for the mother, one for the son, and one for the Holy Ghost. And that was it. I guess that's how you do not get diseases.
Who needs vaccinations when you can just do that?
Finally, Bradley comes out. She run, they hug, they kiss. And she goes
batters that man with
talking his head off. Non-stop. You gonna get married? We're gonna get married. I'm gonna wear a white dress. We have to wait to get married.
Is it awkward? Do you want to hug me? Do you not want to hug me? Do you hate me?
Do you want to kill me? Do you want to stab me? I want to kill you. You know what? I'm gonna trap you. That's what I'm gonna trap you. And Bradley's just like, I'd rather be back in jail right now. I don't know if this is a good thing for me to get out.
He's like, I want to take this a day at a time. That's not gonna happen, sir. That's not gonna happen.
So she shows Bradley the tattoo. He's like, "Oh, that's nice."
She tattooed this man's name on her ribcage.
I thought it'd be in color. He like, what?
This is after he told her not to get it. So there was that.
And he gets in the car. I guess he throws his personal clothes outside or something, whatever. And he drives off. Which I don't even think he got a license.
We know he doesn't. We watched enough Love After Lockups to know that they suspend that driver's license. So. But the other thing is he is a little worried about going back home because he's paroling back to his dad's house. And Savannah doesn't get along with his family. And he's like, as long as Savannah can keep her cool, it'll be fine. We know that's not possible. That's not possible, sir. So. Also, Savannah's fully under the belief that they're getting married soon. And he's like, no. So it's going to be a train wreck.
Very soon. So next is Ashley. We meet Ashley and Julius. Julius has been in the pen for 6 years. And he's
Julius
about
is
to get
a baby. Out. He's a baby. He's 25, 23, 25?
Yeah, something like that.
He's a baby.
20-something. His early 20s.
He's a skinny teen. He's not. He's 23. But he looks so young and he's so tall and skinny. And then you have Ashley, who is 31.
And she's a scripple turned waitress.
I think she was more than a scripple.
I don't know what she do on her side hustles with scripting, but that's what it says.
I think she was doing some people's. Anywho, because she cannot get cleared for visitation rights. So, little tip for you: if you can't get cleared for visitation rights if you have a pending action against you, meaning like you have probation or a court case that's pending, or hell, a court case that got wrote off.
We get introduced to Ashley's 2 kids.
They're adorable.
And then Julius calls. They talk. So she's trying to get particulars of when she's going to be able to see him, when they're going to be able to meet.
Because he's getting out the next day.
And he's like, I'm going to hang with my mom and maybe I'll see you that night.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, bye.
And she goes,
that's weird.
He always says, I love you. She also is concerned that she doesn't have a set time to see him when he gets out.
So it's all these alarms already. She said, and then she makes it known that when she met him because he accidentally called her. Called the wrong number and called her. They talked and then she hung up. She went on Facebook to look him up. She's like, oh, he was fine. So then she started talking to him. On top of that, I guess somehow she got him tattooed on her chest. And I guess took a picture and some girl saw his name tattooed on her. Like, why you got my man tattooed on you? And that's when he told her, yo, I talk to these other females to get money and all that stuff to pretty much take care of me while I'm in here. So the same excuse that what's his face gave.
Which one? Michael or Hunter?
Hunter gave.
Okay.
What's her face?
You know who it also reminds me of? The girl with the wigs. Remember, she was excited to get this guy, and he had another girl waiting for him. He ended up leaving her house and staying with the other lady that he said was his aunt.
I can't remember her name.
But you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. So, in his confessional, he pretty much says this is the first relationship he's been in.
Which one? The Ashley or the other girl?
Julius said this is the first relationship she's been in with Ashley, whatever.
You sure it's Ashley? He wasn't talking about the other girl?
He's talking about Ashley.
I thought he was talking about the other girl.
All that we didn't get. All this happened before we got introduced to the other girl.
Okay.
He said pretty much his mom's gonna pick him up from whatever. So then, all of a sudden, we get this scene with this.
We get a faceless voice who's like, "I'm so excited to see you, Danny."
And it says Julia's talking to her. I'm like, oh, this is okay. Finally, that face gets revealed as a girl named Alexis. Who's
also
Alexis
excited?
Is very excited because apparently Julius is gonna be paroling into her house. That's the house he's gonna be paroling into, not his mom.
Right.
And the way Alexis knew Julius through her best friend, which is Julius' sister.
Yes. So she actually has history with this kid.
They've been dating for 3 years.
Oh my God, I did not know that part.
At least Alexis is a caregiver, and she had another caregiver come over and pretty much showing her how to do with the person she's watching.
Yeah.
So she can go spend this time with Julius when he gets out.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, Ashley has no idea that Alexis is another woman named Alexis is
even in the picture.
Be at, in the picture, and Alexis has no idea that
Ashley's in the picture.
But seeing some previews, they're not the only ones apparently.
Surprise! Dun, dun, dun.
They're showing a preview where Ashley's like, "Who this woman?" and then they're showing a preview of Alexis of who these hoes. So let's just say it's about to get real and crazy from this point on.
I want to know why so many people think he's so fine.
He's light skinned.
He's light skinned. He got light eyes. That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
They assume the baby making genes are gonna be.
I'm
cute.
like, maybe he got game. Maybe he's like speaking a wordsmith. No.
They assume their baby making genes gonna be cute.
Ugh.
They don't realize light skinned people make ugly ass babies too. I don't. Yeah, like they've never seen an ugly light skinned person in their life. I've seen a lot of ugly light skinned people.
This is so messed up. Ashley's already light skinned though. Like Ashley's already light skinned.
I've seen a lot of ugly light skinned people. I don't understand
Ashley's
why they
already
think
light.
Light skin means cute.
Ashley's already light, and she got pretty babies. Her babies are actually very cute.
And your baby's not gonna get their eyes. It's more likely your baby will get some brown eyes.
You're like, sorry.
You think your baby, your brown eyes and his green eyes gonna make gray eyes, baby?
I don't get it. They keep showing one picture of this dude. He's standing in a mirror sideways so that you can see his Louis Vuitton belt. It's a chunky
and face tats,
like heavily labeled belt, face tat, white tank. What? And he's 25.
Here's the thing: half of the people that ugly people are light skinned people. I just like.
You've been reiterating this a lot.
I just thought you'd like to know that. I'm just saying.
Am I not light skinned?
No, you're caramel. I don't know who told you light skinned. Who told you that lie?
Actually, I've been called red bone. Isn't that light skin?
That person's colorblind.
My grandmother said it. She said it when we went to visit her.
Your grandma's colorblind.
You're so crazy.
Your grandma's colorblind. You're not red bone.
What is red bone?
Red bone would be Ashley. Ashley be red bone.
Why is Ashley red bone?
Because she's high yellow. Red.
Oh, yeah. You have to be high yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only time I've heard somebody call somebody red bone. They were high yellow.
Interesting. I don't know. Who knows? Colorism in the black community, high.
Down, the next couple we got is Brooke and JK.
Okay. I don't know who these people are.
Brooke is the girl from the cowgirl from Texas.
Oh, the one you said looks like Kyla Pratt. Yeah, that one.
Let's stop right there.
You said she looks like Kyla Pratt. No, she doesn't.
When they had her one angle, I said one angle. I didn't say she. One angle.
See, I would think Kyla Pratt was Redbone. She's not Redbone?
No, Kyla Pratt's not. She's Lord Hammer. Yeah, whatever. Sure.
That was gross.
Lord, what?
Granted, she's very pretty. So,
like,
the only thing I can think of that...
Is she like 30 or 40 something?
Yeah, but she looks like she's still a teenager.
Okay, then. So, what I'm thinking is not filthy and dirty. So I don't understand.
Because she's legal.
Yeah,
Listen,
I don't understand the problem.
I think the only reason you think maybe Kyla Pratt is because she kind of has a high octave voice like Kyla Pratt.
I think it's the high cheekbones a little.
This is a white woman who's not black at all.
Anywho, moving on from your distaste. Brooke is a Texan
single mom. She got
two boys back to back because she don't know how to
Don't
say
start.
no.
Don't start.
She don't know how to say
Don't
no.
start.
She don't know how to use protection.
First of all, she was in committed relationships with those two boys.
No.
Secondly,
I'm pretty sure. No. It sounds like to me, they say you're cute. She goes, really?
no. She was in like Now, the weird thing I would say is that a lot of her relationships stem from like childhood. So these are kids like she went to school with, type of a deal. Even JK, like she knew him from when they were kids.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I would be like, wow, means interesting.
For some reason, the females on this season want to be breeded like they're cattle.
There's a lot of them being like, I can't wait to have your baby. And it's like, why?
They want to be breeded like cattle. That's disturbing to me.
Why do you want to have these kids so bad?
Especially Brooke. That's what I think happened. In relationship, we got to have baby. Boom.
Maybe it's a kink. Maybe they got a baby making kink.
So then JK calls. They talk for a little bit. Her mom walks up with her youngest child.
JK is doing his best John B. His best John B. Down to the Caesar.
But he ugly as shit.
Yeah. And missing teeth.
He don't have the vocals.
Nor the teeth.
Her mom comes up and she's talking to her mom. Her mom's like, hopefully you guys take your time.
I think that's her stepmom.
She's like,
no, it's her mom. They look alike.
First thing we do, make baby. She's like, her mom's like, you
no.
need another baby, like you need a hole in your head.
That's exactly what she said. That's exactly what she said.
And she's like, what? She's like, yeah.
She's like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
She's like, why not? You can't afford to take care of the kids you got now.
You can't even afford to take care of yourself.
Exactly.
You want to have another kid?
You want
for what?
The other one?
So he can go back to jail?
Exactly.
For what?
That's not going to happen. She's
for
like,
what?
How are you going to do it? So we find out JK has a best friend named Bonnie.
Yes.
Twist, Bonnie is living with Brooke.
Bonnie's also his ex.
Boom, 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 boom.
But according to everybody, they're just friends. They're just friends. According to everyone.
And he talks to her all the time.
Yes.
At first, Brooke didn't want Bonnie around, but then she got to know Bonnie, and she's like, Bonnie is cool. They're just friends.
Yeah.
And then somehow her and Bonnie started living together.
Well, not somehow. Bonnie got into some residency issues. She basically got kicked out of her old place. She needed somewhere to stay. JK was it JK or BK?
JK.
JK, as in just kidding. He basically hit her up and was like, Bonnie needs a place to stay. Can you help my girl out? And because she's in love with this idiot, she said, yeah, I will. But now they're roommates, and it seems like they get along. Like, they're pretty friendly.
Oh, wow. I did not know that was the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird. How JK and Brooke got together. JK asks, I guess, a cousin or a brother.
It goes back to when they were kids. They've known each other for years.
Yeah, a cousin to give him Brooke's number.
Yeah, because he tried to date her when they were kids, but her dad said no, rightfully so.
Yeah, and Brooke, he got in touch and they finally got in touch and they started.
When he was in jail.
And they started talking and got together.
Mm-hmm.
At some point.
Off and on. They dated and broke up and dated and broke up a lot.
At some point they break up. And JK meets a girl named...
at least as recently as 3 months ago, according to the recording.
JK meets a girl named Alex.
Yes. Who he dated 3 months ago.
And apparently Alex wanted to be bred too.
She also was talking about having his babies.
So Brooke knows about Alex, and she's hoping if Alex shows up to help to come pick him up too, she's going to fight her.
Well, the other thing is when JK paroles, he's going to be in the same area as Alex because he can't parole to Brooke's place.
He's going to be paroled to his mom?
Yeah.
Or dad?
His mom's.
His mom's, which is closer to Alex.
Yeah.
So that's a whole...
Brooke is concerned because she won't have anybody down there to watch him.
Or make sure and keep him out of trouble.
Uh-huh.
Which I'm like, if you got to keep a grown man out of trouble, you don't need to be with him.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
That's Brooke and
JK.
Joey and Michael. Joey, was he on?
He was loved during Lockup.
During Lockup?
Yep.
okay, he was in love during lockup. He's with Michael. Michael is a drug head.
Meth user.
He's a druggie.
But he's also a thief. He likes to steal. He likes drugs and he likes to steal. And he's comfortable with being in prison because he's been in it so long.
He has no problems being a druggie neither, because he's not going to give up no time soon either, apparently, too.
Michael said he was going to strive to be sober, but also he doesn't want to, but also he might. Because his mom really wants him to get clean, and he does love his mom, and he does love, what's his name, Steven?
Joey.
He does love Joey.
Joey's been clean for a year now.
And that's because Michael's been in jail. Because he actually relapsed with Michael.
When Michael was out last time.
Yeah.
And Joey's parents, that's concerned. Their big concern.
Because they're also addicts.
What are you going to do? This whole, their whole storyline is everybody's on some shit.
Well, formally on some stuff.
Everybody had an issue.
Yeah.
So Joey's parents doesn't want want to make sure Michael is going to be in the state and narrow, so that he won't help, so Joey won't relapse.
Right. But also, likewise, Michael's mom wants Joey to be like the guiding star to Michael to keep him sober, which is worrisome.
Yeah. This episode, Joey goes to see Michael's mom, meets her. She has a broke leg.
Yeah.
When he gets there,
and she has Michael's phone.
They're talking, so they factory reset Michael's phone.
Yeah. So he doesn't have his old contact.
They're trying to come up with plans and different ways to keep him off drugs.
Yeah. Occupied.
Yeah. Joey pretty much says Michael said, hey, 3 months ago that he doesn't know if he's ready.
Yeah.
Which is very scary.
He's not ready to be out on the outside.
That's scary to even admit, because that means he has no qualms with going back.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's already setting himself up for failure.
Well, I mean, the longest he's ever been sober has been in prison, right? And I forget what they call it when it's not facilitized. What's the word? Institutionalized? Yeah. When you're institutionalized and you don't have a lot of structure on the outside, I get it.
Who's to say he's clean in there?
He said it.
He's not clean.
I'm just saying, I can understand a world where you're in a situation where you literally can't. You physically cannot. And it forces you to get clean, and you are forced into a routine. But that routine becomes helpful. And then when you get out, they don't have resources to help them come up with other routines that they can maintain.
And what I'm saying to you is, I don't think he's clean in there. The 7 years he's been there, I think he's had relapses in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think it's going to be harder for him when he gets out, because he knows he didn't stay on a clean path in there.
I'm not saying it's pristine, but I believe him when he says the longest he's ever been sober has been in prison. I believe him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I get why. I get why it would be in prison.
And Michael's about to come out after doing 7 years.
He also can't wait to have sex with Joey, and Joey's a little scared. Because he's very body conscious.
Pause. I don't know where that's about to go.
Just that he's very body conscious. Joey's a little scared because he's like, Michael's always been with hot guys. Even though him and Michael have been intimate before, he's still, like, the sex stuff still kind of scares him. And Joey is saying all kinds of nasty things. Or not Joey, Michael. Michael is saying all kinds of nasty things to Joey.
Michael's a new age freak.
Not new age.
He's an
old school freak.
Yeah. Ron Jeremy freak.
A Dr. Dan.
Dr. who?
The guy yesterday. Not yesterday, last recording. He said, if you want titty chewing, it's $9.50.
Oh my God.
That's the rate. Okay.
What's the oh God, I just had a brain fart.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Chappelle. Give it to me, baby. Rick James. He's a Rick James freak. Okay, moving on to the most ghetto names ever on Love After Lockup. Demondrick.
Demondrick. Yes.
It's spelled D-A-M. Damn. O. Drick.
Yeah, Demondrick.
And Kiana. This is Kiana.
Yeah, Q-U-I, right? A-N-A.
Yeah.
Kiana.
Quinlinta?
Nope. Kiana.
Quint. Whatever. This ghetto ass goddamn name.
That's not even the worst name. What's the other girl name?
Jawala.
There you go.
And it gets even worse. Jawala. J-W-A-L-I-A. Jawala.
Listen.
Jawala Leah. Jawala Leah.
If it's one thing we are, it's creative.
Wow.
Not everybody can be a Calvin. Okay.
Jawala Leah.
Some of us are Jovans and Jawalas and
I
Demondricks
would rather you
and
like,
Kianas.
if you can't come with a normal name, Calvin is just fine.
My name is not a normal name.
Calvin is Javon is fine. It's normal.
It's not. It's not anything.
Yeah, but I know a bunch. I know Javons.
So if you've heard it before, then it's normal.
Yeah, I've heard Javon before. Now,
so guess what? Our kids are going to be Demondrick and Jawali.
I will kick half of your chest off if you. I will rip.
And a Kentavious. We're doing it.
And I would be like, none of those kids are mine.
We're doing it.
And I will not sign the birth certificate. I will refuse to sign the birth certificate.
We're doing it.
Whatever. What happened?
Lavondre.
Your wife has no chest now. Yeah, I kicked it all off because the dumb names of the kids. You seen dishwasher detergent?
I'm just saying. Listen, the creativity at 100. So Kiana is excited.
So Kiana and Demondrick grew up together.
Yes.
They've been on and off for 10 years.
All through her high school years and whatnot. Was he her first or no?
Yes.
She said he was her first real boyfriend, but I don't know if he was her first.
Yes. I'm going to say yes. At some point, they break up and he goes and cheats. And he has 3 baby mamas.
If they broke up, how'd he cheat?
I mean, at some point, he cheated. Because he has 6 kids with 3 different baby mamas.
And Jawala has 3 of those goddamn
and
kids.
Jawala Walla has 3 of those kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
much to Kiana's chagrin.
Yeah, and she like, I don't know why she's still around. Oh,
yeah,
he's in their life.
Yeah,
like, because they have kids.
She has the bulk of his children.
Apparently, his family likes Jawala Lala better.
They get along with Jawala because she has his kids.
Exactly. She has the grandkids and the nieces and the nephews.
I don't even think it's necessarily that they like her better. She just has their kids. So anyway.
So she has family members that's connected to them. So that's why.
But in Kiana's mind, they for sure like her better.
Yeah. So Kiana's getting ready. Her stepfather comes over to pick her up to take her. And they stop to you got to say that dude's name. Demondrick's house to get some of his stuff because she's not buying him.
It was a 5-hour drive. She's in where is she?
Limerick? Limerick?
No, Lubbock.
Lubbock, yeah.
She's in Lubbock, Texas, and they got to go to Fort Worth.
I said Limerick. Goddamn, Lubbock.
Yeah, and they got to go travel north to Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
So yeah, she got her stepdad to drive her 5 hours.
Apparently, the stepdad and
Demondrick's dad
know each other
from way back. Yeah,
from way back. They talking. They kind of chopping it up. She goes to Demondrick's sister, who she doesn't get along with. She hasn't talked to in 2 years.
Yeah.
And the sister pretty much tells her, yeah, you know that he's getting out, all this stuff, this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
Sister has her little sidebar and says, I don't think they're going to make it. My brother
I know my brother.
He
got a lot of girls on the
hook. A lot of girls. And he's still messing with Jawala.
Yeah. Not to mention probably these other baby mamas, I'm sure.
And so they talk to Kiana, and she's like
in a state of denial.
So before all that, she goes to her job, where she works at a beauty salon.
Yeah,
she's a hairdresser.
Yeah,
and pretty much the owner's telling her what you're gonna do when Demondrick gets out, and she's like, "Well, we be together." She's like, "Well, ain't the baby mama still posting up stuff like they're together?"
Yeah,
and she's like, "Well, they're not." She's like, and then the owner has her little confessional. She goes, seems like to me she's still talking to him. He's still messing with her.
Yeah.
If you read these
She's
posts.
being real bold for somebody he's not talking to.
Not talking to.
Right.
And then her other hairdresser colleague, he's like, so what is
he basically is like, you playing yourself.
Exactly.
He got no job. He got all these ladies he's messing with. He gonna mess on you. What are you doing?
Exactly.
And she's like, I don't want to hear from you. And he's like, okay.
Whatever. You gonna hear it. So fast forward, she goes to his house, gets his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a little confession with the sister saying the baby mama just talked to him
that day.
And the baby mama's talking about, yeah, I ain't really the only one she got to worry about. There's a bunch of other girls that...
the other girls are reaching out to me.
And I'm like trying to figure out what's going on. So the baby son seems like the baby mama's at her limit with all these other women. And on top of Kiana on top of that.
Kiana is in denial.
She's in denial like there's only the baby mamas.
Just the one, Joala.
But
also she's like, I don't know why everybody's okay with her being so in his life. And it's like, because he
has.
But she fully is like, yeah, I want to be a great dad and whatever, but he doesn't need to be that involved with Joala. It's like, he does.
Has to. That's kind of how being a dad works.
What? But whatever, girl. All right.
So,
and we end it with her waiting outside the gates to hopefully get him. He is hours late, and we end up on a cliffhanger. She gets a call from one of the guards.
Yep. The stepdad standing there like, this is crazy. And that's the first episode of the new season of Love After Aga. Oh, a bunch of triplets.
Triplets?
Yeah, triplets. What'd you call it when you got three people in a relationship?
Triangle? Throuple?
A throuple. Sounds like we got a lot of throuples on this season.
Yeah.
I'm ready. This season looks like.
Listen, it looks good.
You know, honestly, this season I don't know like it could be that long because it seems like everybody's gonna break up after like episode 3 or 4. It's just gonna be a bunch of.
I feel like they're just gonna keep introducing new people. That's what it feels like. It feels like
we still got another couple that we haven't.
We got several couples we haven't seen yet.
So
when they showed that flash of people who are still in prison, there's like 9 faces there, and we just talked about 4, 5.
Yeah.
So there's still more faces.
What else are you watching or catching up on?
Honestly, nothing. I'm behind on my wrestling. My eyeballs. I've been catching up on my eyelids. How about you?
Other than the things we're watching now, I've been watching a lot of Swamp People and, like I said, First 48.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty much channel surfing, really. I'm not really watching one thing.
You don't think First 48 is entrapment?
No, because they're telling themselves.
But they also don't have any legal representation with them.
That's their fault.
They also go into people's houses without warrants.
That's their fault.
It's very interesting.
The people, everybody who said they want a lawyer, they just walk out.
Okay.
You gonna tell us anything? Nah, I want to speak to my lawyer first. Okay, well, that's what you want to do. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, a lot of this is like, you got to tell us the truth or whatever. And you see a lot of people, they're telling themselves, but it's a lot of young kids who don't know any better. And then they get long sentences. It feels like First 48 of entrapment.
No, because I guess you can say they use intimidation. I guess you can say that.
I woke up to a clip of these officers looking for somebody. It was like hour 43 or whatever of their 48. And they're looking for this guy. And they're literally knocking on people's doors being like, hey, we're looking for so-and-so. Can we come in? And then they just go in. No warrants.
Because those people say, yeah. They say no, but let me see a warrant. Then they can't.
I'm just saying. Like, understandably, they got to do their job. But I'm amazed at, like, one, how there's just no awareness of what their actual rights are. And nobody really sticking to it. And it's seen as bad if you do stick to it. It's seen as like a negative. You're hiding something if you stick to your rights.
And two, they probably don't show us all the times people be like, no.
It's just very interesting. I'm just like, yo.
I've seen the people like, no.
Or when they're like, we'll strike a deal with you, we'll make a deal with you. And then you see the aftermath and they made no such deal.
Is he in there? No. Can I come in? You got a warrant? No.
I'm
you can't
just
come
saying,
in.
like, I get the appeal. You get to see how a lot of this works. But also, like, you see how it works against them. For me.
Yeah. It's a lot. Like I said, it's just up to the people sometimes. Like I seen a lot of people go like, lawyer. And they be like, okay. Some people come in and say some stuff, and they bring them back in, and they be like, well, we got some new information. He like, you know what? I ain't tell you nothing else. To speak to my lawyer. Some people come in with lawyers. It's just it's a run the gamut. It's just a lot of think they're smarter. I think a lot of what you're seeing, a lot of people think they're smarter than the cops.
Okay.
Like one dude told the cops it was him and somebody else. And somebody else shot the cops, and they all took off running. They wouldn't talk to the other guy. The other guy was like, "Nah, it was just me and him," and he's the one that shot. They go back and talk to him. They're like, "So we talked to the other person. They said it was just you and him." And they sitting there, God damn. Let me get some chips. Let me get a Pepsi. I'll tell you everything. People talking for chips and Pepsi. Some people get a meal and then spill everything. Some people, lawyer. I just think it depends on the person. I think a lot of times these people think they're smarter than the police.
I just think it's an interesting snapshot. One of who's constantly in custody. It's pretty clear who's constantly in custody.
We got to look at the cities. They're basically in main cities.
I watched the one where they were in Mobile.
Yeah.
And it's people who are poor. It's poor people who are in there.
Yeah,
poor black, poor white people.
Yeah.
That's who's in there.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Incriminating themselves. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And young.
Yeah.
So young. It's crazy.
Lawyer. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
It hurts my soul a little bit when you see somebody who's like, they're very young. They have no idea. They don't know that they can just say lawyer, because in their mind they're thinking, I have to pay for a lawyer. They don't know that you can get a public defendant. So then they're like, okay, I'll make these deals, and then they make these supposed deals and they don't get the deal. They get a harsh time.
Also, you want to make sure you got the right lawyer. You don't want to have
You can only get the right lawyer if you have money, and if you don't have money, it is luck of the draw.
The last thing you want to do is a lawyer that handle car accidents, working on the drug case for you. That's the last thing you want.
It's a lot, and it's just to me, it's depressing.
Reset.
It's depressing to me.
Oh, somebody done you wrong. Done you wrong. Anything else?
I didn't bring that up.
Yeah. I just said I was looking at first 48. That's all. Even to this whole diatribe.
I'm just saying, I
feel for the babies.
I do feel for the babies.
I feel for the babies.
You don't think it's a little sad? Okay.
Par for the course.
Okay.
Lawyer.
Okay. Nah, I'm not watching anything else. I need to catch up on Beyond the Gates. I still haven't. I'm now 2 weeks behind. I got a lot of episodes to catch up on.
Okay, look, you got a lot of TV to be watching.
I be watching my eyelids as soon as I get home now. I cook, go to sleep.
As you're supposed to.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable what? It's in the Bible.
Cooking?
Yeah.
Cooking?
Yeah.
What is it? What's the scripture? Let me know. Where is it in the Bible? Come.
You can go to Psalms.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to Amos.
Mm-hmm. Amos?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know this book by the Amos?
Amos?
Yeah.
Amos.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you to go to any of the Old Testament, Deuteronomy, Leviticus. Technically, I have the right to stone you if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
Not a Job?
Job, you can go there too. But I do have the right to stone you back in the day. I can take you out the backyard right now, make you stand by the fence. I can just chuck rocks at you.
I do believe if we're going by scripture, it says that you're supposed to be a provider. So
aren't I providing?
How? We both working.
You got a roof over your head, don't you?
And now I make the same as you. So how?
That's okay. Let's not get carried away.
How?
Let's not get carried away.
How?
She don't make the same as me.
Yeah, I do.
Let's stop this nonsense.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I just pay for your health insurance.
I pay. Okay. I'm all about women empowerment, but let's not take it too damn
Not
far.
only do I make the same as you, I also pay for your health insurance.
And this is why
I cook for you.
This is why I agree with Trump. We need to take away women's rights. This is why I agree with Trump.
Wives need to know their place.
They need to know their places.
You're so crazy. All right, that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right, bye. Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.